I like that, huh? I made my own gun barrel sequence. That was cool. But yeah, Spectre, how about that? Let's talk about it. This movie, I went to a screening of this movie on Wednesday, 2 days before it came out. And because there was this ad in a magazine and I got me free passes, so me and my dad went and we saw it. And it was great. The experience itself was awesome. My first ever screening was in IMAX. It was completely free. I loved the experience itself. The movie itself, we're going to talk about it. But yeah, I just wanted to say that was pretty cool, and I actually took a little bit of a vlog, which I'm going to include at the end of this review. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about Spectre, the newest James Bond movie. This is once again directed by Sam Mendes, who directed Skyfall, and it also stars Daniel Craig, who's played Bond for the last 4 movies, including this one, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and now this. Now, in my history, I've reviewed some of the James Bond movies before this one. My favorites are Casino Royale and Skyfall, the recent ones, because I just love the new gritty take they have on Bond, and they deviate from the formula. I love all that stuff they do. I haven't seen Quantum of Solace, maybe one day, but I've heard it's really bad, so whatever. Point is, we're going to talk about Spectre right now. Spectre, like Quantum of Solace, is a sequel to the past one, and it's sort of a sequel to Skyfall, but in reality, I kind of feel like it's more of a tie-up, loose ends, end-all to this whole Daniel Craig saga, which is a reboot saga of the whole 007 franchise. But in this one, Bond receives a message from someone from his past, and it pretty much leads him on this trail that helps him uncover an organization called Spectre, which has ties to him and his entire past, and a whole bunch of people are there, and eventually he is on a path, a personal journey, to pretty much uncover the mysteries, and pretty much just, I don't know, beat the game. If it were like a video game, you gotta beat the final boss, something like that. But anyway, Spectre was a pretty good time. I enjoyed myself with Spectre. However, I don't feel it's as good as Casino Royale or Skyfall. Probably better than Quantum of Solace, though. Even though for some reason the Rotten Tomatoes score is lower. Why? Quantum of Solace is 65%. This has, I believe, now a 61? No, it deserves in the 80s. I mean, come on. Whatever, let's talk about the movie itself. First off, I love Daniel Craig's Bond. He's my favorite James Bond behind Sean Connery, and I don't know, I really like Timothy Dalton. He's very underrated, but Pierce Brosnan's pretty good too. The point is, Daniel Craig is awesome. He's so, I love his gritty take on Bond. He's got this direct, I will get the mission done, and if there's a woman, if I have time, maybe, but mission first. I like that about him, and I love his whole attitude and all that stuff. It's great, and I really like that. And I really like the Bond girl in this one, played by Léa Seydoux, I believe that's her name. She was pretty good in this movie, and I like that she wasn't just, hey, look at me, I'm hot. She was also a really interesting character with an interesting backstory, and she could fight. She did in a few areas, and it was really awesome to see that. And I really gotta say, I do like the plot of this movie, sort of, but there's a few problems with it. Like, for example, the script itself isn't very perfect. A lot of people have commented on this subplot that goes on where it's like this character named C wants to get rid of the 00 program, which, now that I think about it, is an exact copy of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. But now that I think about it, this movie is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation with James Bond in it. Well, Rogue Nation was supposed to come out in December, so does that make Rogue Nation a copy of Spectre? Not a good time to thinking about that. But it's similar. And, I kind of like the idea of it, but I kind of wish they didn't have to just James Bond action, cut back. James Bond action, cut back. That was kind of an annoying-ish thing. But whatever, I don't care. It's not really spoiling a whole lot. Another thing that could have been better, I feel, is, what was it? The Spectre organization itself. I mean, the movie's called Spectre. I kind of want to see more of the Spectre organization, and we really don't. I mean, we see the main villain, Christoph Waltz's character, and he's great in the scenes he's in, but he's not even in it that much. I mean, it's the Spectre organization and Christoph Waltz, they're really great in the scenes they're given, but I want more of them. I don't know, it just kind of felt weird. But, there's a lot of other things I really like this movie. They gave Q a lot more to do than he had to do in Skyfall, and I really liked his character now. I like the new M. I like the relationship between Bond and the girl. Wow, I can't even remember her name. Dr. Swan, that's her name in the movie. Madeline Swan, that's her name. But anyway, Yeah, I like the relationship. I actually, thought they had good chemistry, and like that. And it still had some really good action in this movie. Like the opening scene, a lot of Bond movies have this strict action opening scene. You saw this one in the trailers. It's really cool. And it starts with this one big tracking shot that lasts for like 3, 4, 5 minutes, kind of like Birdman. And it was pretty awesome. It looked great. Like, the movie's very well shot also. Not as well shot as Skyfall, but you know what? It works well. I like it. Even though there is a little shaky cam in some action scenes, whatever. I don't care. A lot of movies have that now. But Spectre was a good time. I liked it. My problem with it was just, I don't know, there were a few things about it that felt too reliant on already established James Bond 007 formula. I mean, my favorites, Casino Royale and Skyfall, they deviated from the formula in that they did some things different. Like, the gun barrel sequence wasn't directly after the titles, and, I don't think Bond ever strictly orders the shaken, not stirred martini. Kind of does those things in this movie, and I was like, you're not really deviating from the formula? Okay, whatever, I don't care. But, maybe try something. And, we still got Craig's Bond, which is cool. And I do like some of the things that happen in the movie. I like a lot of things that happen in this movie. That's just me and my weird rambling. I don't know, I feel like I'm getting better at it the more reviews I do. But, there's not a whole lot about Spectre that's... I will say this, it's just, Spectre, I was feeling weird throughout it. I mean, I was having a good time with the movie, but at the same time, I felt like it could have been better. I definitely could have, but, whatever. I'm happy, and I feel like it's not as good as some of the other movies we had this year. I mean, kind of enjoyed Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, Kingsman, The Secret Service as spy movies more. Spectre, though, it was good. It's a solid Bond movie that will fulfill your needs, if you want to watch one. Spectre's good, but it's not the best. And even still, though, would I recommend you see it? Yes, I would recommend you see it. It's, of course. Spectre's a great movie, and I also really like the main theme, Writing on the Wall by Sam Smith. A lot of people seem to be hating on it. I don't know, I really like it. I mean, it's a different theme than the other Bond movies, but you know what? I like that. And it's got a pretty cool opening, also. I won't say a whole lot about the opening, but the animated opening sequence is really cool, too. I like that. I'm trying to think of other things I want to mention about Spectre, but I really can't. So, overall, I like the performances, I like the acting. It's very well shot and good action, all that stuff. Plot could have been better. Few scenes, not the best, and not everything's greatest, but you know what? I still had a great time. And I also want to mention there's this one torture scene in the movie that's very hard to watch. Even harder to watch than the Casino Royale scene where Le Chiffre whips Bond in the you-know-where. It's harder to watch than that. I mean, granted, I can watch that no problem, because I guess I'm desensitized. I don't know. This one was hard to watch, and the person next to me was like... yeah. You'll know when you see it. But yeah, those are my honest thoughts on Spectre. I like the movie. It could have been better, but I had a good time with it. And I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to give Spectre an 89%. It was a little underwhelming when you compare it to the other ones, but if you're looking for a great stand-up action movie, it'll fulfill your James Bond needs for 2.5 hours. If you're looking for 2.5 hours, they'll be fun, give you Bond, Spectre by all means. And sorry about the camera angle change. My camera ran out of space. I hate it when it does that. But whatever. The point is, go see this movie. I would recommend it. And I guess I'll show one more thing in this video, which is a little vlog I took right outside of the theater when I saw the movie. It's nothing really special. It's kind of just me showing the line that had already built up. Because I arrived pretty early to make sure we got in, because they over-invite these things, so to ensure a full house, even though it was not a full house at all. But I guess I can show it. It's fun. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot else to say about this movie. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching this review. And I'm done reviewing James Bond movies for a while, because I just reviewed 10 of them. Even though this is the 5th one you've seen. Whatever. Adios, home slices. And, witchy James Bond outro. At the screening, the line for the movie, I got here pretty early.
Did you hear anything?
A lot of people. There's also a lot behind and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for this one though. Worth it, definitely. I don't want to look like a weirdo for too long, so I won't do this. So yeah, I'm very excited to see this thing. Free tickets, early screening. Awesome. My dad is here. My dad is getting some pizza so we can eat in line. And yes, fun will ensue. I'll see you when we're done.